All righty, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the How Can I Support My Child series. Welcome to the show. It is 8:30 a.m. where we come in here to do this. We come in to answer the questions that parents ask about how they can support their children. And because we get these questions over and over again, we thought it was more important that we have more parents hearing the suggestions, the answers that we have to the questions that you have to ask, because we know that parenting is universal. So yes, the challenges that the parents in China has is likely or similar to the challenges that the parents in Ogun, Oyo, or Katsina has. All right, so welcome to the show. My name is Maribel Chima, and today we have been looking at a series. We've been working on the series how can we've been working on the series on how what our children need, how we can support our children. So today we're looking at our support system. Yes, what support system we need as parents to parent effectively. Yesterday, sorry, just give me a second. Just give me a second, please. Sorry about that. All right, so yesterday we looked at your support system as your family and your friends, and we said these are some of the most important or the closest support system that you can have as a parent on your parenting journey, because we agree that it still takes a village to train a child. And so if it does take a village to train a child, the question is, who is your village, or where is your village? All right, the question is, where is your village? Who makes up your village, or who are the people who make up your village? Okay, and we said your friends and your families and sorry your friends and your family, your immediate family, your extended family, these ones are the most important. These ones are the most important support system that you can leverage on your parenting journey, and this will go a long way in you effectively supporting your children, because there will be times that you won't be there. There will be times that you can't be there. There will be times that you need to take a break. There will be time that you just can't simply be there micromanaging everyone and everything. These are the times that you turn to your support system. It is our support system, or the support system we've been able to create for ourselves, that will help us ward off overwhelm and all of that, apart from, of course, the system that we create in our home. But again, that support is part of the system. So the structure we create in our home, our support system, the people that form our support system, are part of the structure that we create in our home. So either way, you need people who will become a part of your support system. So today we are moving on from our family as friend and friends as our support system, and we're looking at other collaborators, other people who can form our support system. So today we are looking at their mentors and people who inspire them. All right, mentors and people who inspire our children. Um, Mentors and the people who inspire our children. These are the ones that we are looking at, all right, today. Now, there are different people that can sit on this table, right, for our children. Different people that can sit on the table of who their mentors are, okay, or who can mentor them, or who can, sit in that place, right? Now, one of the mentors that we have, or one of the people, right, there are categories of mentors. That's what I'm going to say. There are categories of mentors, and it's important that we are recognizing these categories of mentors so that we can leverage on their mentorship to help support our children or help us parent our children effectively. We're going to be looking at these people. All right. Number one on that list of mentors is you, their parents, right? So we are our children's first mentors. You are your child's first mentor. That's why I probably carry on my chest the mentor mom. That is who I am to my child. I am a mom and I am their mentor. Now, who is a mentor? A mentor is someone that the child can look up to. A mentor is someone that the child can depend on for the modeling, all right, and guidance in their lives. So mentors are these people that come because they have experience, because they've been there and done that. They're able to guide these children. I mean, in this case, because we're talking about children, so let's limit it to children, right? Because there's mentorship at all levels, isn't it? Even for older people, there's mentorship at all levels. Now, let's limit it to children. So mentors are those people. Hi Esther, how are you? So mentors are those people in the life of our children that points them to the path that they should take, that points them to the things that are necessary or the things that are important in their life, the things that are essential. That's one of the things that mentors do. Mentors will also create a pathway for our children because they've gone down that pathway. So it's easy for them to lead our children. Mentors are people that our children can look up to as examples for how they should live their lives, basically. All right. So mentors are models to our children. Mentors are people who model to our children. Mentors do not necessarily have to tell us or tell the children exactly what to do, but mentors have a way of helping the child see the big picture, all right, so that they can begin to make informed choices in their lives. Mentors are people who stand by your side. They do not necessarily have to feed you or spoon feed you and tell you how to think or what to think, but mentors are there to guide you even while you are on that journey. All right. So the mentors will not tell you what to do, but the mentors will point you to the things that are in the right direction. The mentors will be there to help you stop and think about the action before you execute. The mentor will be there to stretch you and allow you stop and think your action through before you do it. The mentors are there as a picture of a process. All right. So with a mentor, you are able to see the product of someone's process. Okay. I like the way my coach says it. You have to, how does it put it? You have to see it, right, to become it. All right. So you have to behold it. That's it. So you have to behold it to become it. So what the mentors do is they give you a process, all right, and because they have gone through that process, they become the outcome, and you're able to behold the outcome of a choice or behold the outcome of a process because you have seen someone who's gone through that process and you can see, the products in that person or the outcome in that person. So they give you something to behold so that you can also become. Mentors will give you a laid process to achieving, a goal, because so they are not just about looks, they're not just about what you see, they're also about a process. So a mentor is able to break down to you the process. So that's why we say when you see people that do not have a process, when you see people that cannot explain to you how they got to a particular outcome, then these people cannot be people who inspire us or people who, become our mentors. And this is the issue with, if you do not point or we do not point our children to true mentors, if we do not point them to true mentors, what happens is our children will be mentored because they will gravitate towards the people who look like the life that they want to see. They will gravitate towards the people whose life seems appealing to them. Now, these people's life may seem appealing, but you do not know the process. You do not know how they got there. All right. So, and that's what happens when our children begin to take on what do you call them, celebrities, right? So if you don't point your children to true mentors, if you do not teach your children the importance of mentorship, what will happen is your children will pick mentors for themselves. They will pick people who inspire them, and these people could be anyone or anybody at all, right? And of course, the challenge with this is they do not have a laid down process. They do not tell you what it is. So for instance, we see how some of our children see some celebrities. You see the Wizkids of this world, you see the Pop Daddy, you see all of these people. And some of our children just see them and they see the life that these people have on social media. They see the life that the tabloids, what this tabloids and what do you call them, blogs say about these people. And all our children want to be is like these people. Meanwhile, they don't know what goes on behind the scene. They don't know the process that these people need to go through, or what they go through to, or what they've gone through to become who it is that they are. So our children just see the glitz and the glam and do not understand the process. All right. So that's why it's important that we introduce them, all right, to mentorship as early as possible. Okay. The other thing that mentorship does is it gives your child accountability, right? It teaches and gives your child accountability. It buttresses further the point that they need to be accountable to people and to systems. All right. So if you are saying to your children, you need to be accountable to this, to this family, our values, your father, your mother, you need to be accountable and all of that. Sometimes in life, not sometimes, every time in life, we need people who corroborate what it is that we are saying. Children need this more than you even need it as an adult. Children need people who corroborate what it is that they've heard. They need to hear it. You know how scripture says, once have I said it, twice, right? Has it been confirmed? So children need that second confirmation a lot of the times. All right. So when you are saying something, you need enough, other voices who are saying the same thing that you are saying. When that happens, it creates for believability. All right. It creates for more believability, and all of that, because hey, it's not just so, whether we like it or not, there is that part of familiarity that makes us comfortable, right, with thinking this person is just doing this because the person wants me to be this or wants me to do this and all of that. It's very easy for you to think that, oh, my husband is asking me to do this because he wants to get this out of me. It's not, not everybody is doing the same thing. Do you understand? It's possible for your child to say, oh, my parents just want me to do this because they are my parents. All right. My friends don't have the same thing in their homes. Other people, and it's really very easy for our children to think that way, especially if you are an intentional parent and you have a goal in front of you. So it's very easy for your children to think that way because they go to school and their friends' parents do not make them do all of these extra things that people are coming here to come and be telling the children to do. All right. So we come here and we tell them, oh, our homes need to be structured. We come here and we tell them we need to have a process. We come here and we tell them, oh, you cannot use phones. You come and you tell them you can't watch TV every day. Come on now. In their friend's house or in the neighbor's house, they watch TV. They wake up in the morning, the TV is on. They watch TV all the time. So where are you coming from? So sometimes it's very hard to believe that you are the one who wants the best for them. It's very hard to believe that what you are saying is not just you in your stuck up, little way who doesn't want them to have fun. It's very easy for them to think that way, especially for you who is in diaspora, especially for you, right? For you who are out there in diaspora, already you have filled their heads by, directly or indirectly, you have filled their head that, back home, nothing is okay, nothing is right, nothing is good, right? So at the back of their mind, they have this, oh, back home, we're backward, back home, nothing works, back home, we have a whatever mentality, whatever picture that you have painted to the children. Now, this is where it comes to bite. You've painted all of these pictures and you have said, this is the reason why I brought you out here to give you a better life, because while you are here, you are going to be better. And then all of a sudden you come and tell him that the process or the things that happen in this society that is a better society, all of a sudden you want to come and replace it with your backward African, have you forgotten? the backward, the place you're trying to save the child from, that you now come and you want to bring a process, or you want to bring a belief system, or you want to bring a conviction that is laden with Africanness, and you want the child to accept it. It's not going to work. All right. So you can't come and say you can't have a phone. Come on now. 98% of the kids in school have got phone. You can't come and say you can't go and, whatever it is that operates there, whatever it is that the average child is doing out there is what your child wants to do. Whatever it is. I mean, the child is asking the parent, Mom, are you okay? Mom, are you, whatever, the way they speak there, that for you in your Africanness does not sit well. And then all of a sudden, your child is speaking to you that way, and you are angry and you're upset, and you are telling them, I'm your father, I'm your mother. No, you have to. Do you understand? So we need to have people who corroborate the same thing. So whatever it is that you believe, all right, whatever it is that you believe, whatever convictions that you have, whatever values that you have, you need people who have similar values, who have the similar convictions and all of that. You need them as the other voices in your children's ears, so that they are corroborating what it is that you are saying. So your children know that, yes, it's not just my parents, it's also this person, and it's also my mentor and all of that. And so it makes more it makes it believable, basically. All right, so let's jump right into the people that we can leverage, all right, as mentors. Okay, number one mentor, as I said already, is you, the parents. All right, now how can you be, or how are you a mentor to your child? You are a mentor to your child because, first of all, you are the custodian of that child. It is it is a covenant between you and God. God is giving you that child because God is trusted that you, of all the billions of people on earth, it is you that will help this child become everything that God has created them to be. It is you that has got that assignment to support that child and guide the child towards discovering who God has created them to be. God has given us all the graces and everything that we need. God has put in that child everything from their looks to their abilities to their capacity to everything that they need to become who God has created them to be and fulfill the assignment that God created them for. Everything has been deposited. So every part of your child is part of their purpose. How they talk is part of their purpose. How they look is part of their purpose. The talents that they have is part of their purpose. Every single thing that they are your child is part of their purpose. So it is your job to make sure that that child is safe, to make sure that that child is stable, to make sure that that child has got freedom, right? You make sure that that child is self-aware, to make sure that that child has the right values, to make sure that the child learns the right skills that will help them be everything that God has created them to be. It is your job to ensure that the child has all the convictions and all the ideology that keeps them within God's purpose. So, how are you going to do this? You are going to live it, you are going to model it, and you are going to share that conviction consistently with your child, right? For your child to understand who God has created them to be, for your child to understand that there is a part of this assignment that is their own, for your child to understand that you are rock solid behind them, a constant support system no matter what, for your child to understand that family is key and family is the next thing to God. All right. We already know that family is important to God. If family wasn't, then God would not spend all of the time and energy every time he had someone he wanted to use. He made sure that he placed them in families and he placed them in the hands of people that can help them deliver. That's why he said he trusted that Abraham would pass this down to their children, to his children. Right? He knew this. Okay, can God say the same thing about you? Isn't it? When Jesus was going to come, the master, the universe, the master, the savior and all of that, he could have just dropped him in the middle of the Red Sea, bam, big, strong, and all of that. And like Thor, he would just step out and he'll come and do his bidding. But no, He still needed to pass him through a system. Yes, family is important. He still needed to pass him through a system, that family system. And he always looks for the perfect person. It's only God who is perfect. And so every choice that God makes is perfect. So he looks for the perfect family for him. And this is how he came to Mary and Joseph. So yes, that child is with you is for a reason. So it's your job to ensure that everything that needs to be kept, everything that needs to be sustained, everything that needs to be introduced, everything that needs to be learned, every conviction, everything, every ideology and belief system that the child needs to keep them in line with God's purpose for their life, you are making sure this is, available in the child's life. So you will have to embody it. Okay, I was at the TIP conference a few days ago, and I said, for the young children, because these are the ones I deal with, you can't talk everything into them. They can't even get it. Your words are too many. Your words are too many. Your preaching is too heavy for them. So no, you do not talk. Do you know who we are? When you go, make sure you don't do this. They forget. You know that famous Franklin's post that I am sorry, quotes that I like to share. Teach me and I will forget. Show me and I may remember. Involve me and I will learn. It is only when the child is involved, it is only when the child is a part of it, the child can see it. It is only when it becomes tangible that the child learns, especially at this stage of their life. Please, just a second. I need to be sure my battery is not going to go off. All right, so it is only that. So because of this, you must embody what you want to see. You must live what you want to see. So do you want your children to know your God? You will show your children who your God is. Do you want your child to know the convictions that you have about marriage, about life, about friends, about school, about education, whatever it is that you want them to embody? You will have to embody it first. Okay, whatever it is that you want them to live by, you will have to embody that standard. You will have to carry it for them to see it. They will have to see you live it, and they will have to see the results of this in your life. This is when it becomes tangible enough for your child to relate. Children do not learn what they cannot relate to. Children do not learn what is not relatable. So that's why you go to an elementary school, when you go to, and you go to places where they use the real system of education because it has been studied. When you go and you see people who use the Charlotte Mason, the Montessori, and all other substantial educational system, you will see that it is based on practice and hands-on, it's hands-on and it's based on lots of practice. So yes, there has to be lots of practice, because it is only when the child can see, can hear, can feel, can seemingly touch it, that's when it becomes tangible to the child. So children do not understand abstract things. They only understand things that are tangible and real, that they can relate to. So yes, you are that model. So you have to model and be that parent. So if you see anything that you have to do that you do not want to see in your children, you can do it. So I say to people, I don't talk to anyone when I'm driving. If you like, cross and pass in front of me like this, you will never hear me say, Waka, are you mad? You know those things that we do. It's spontaneous and all that. I learned not to do it because I have children with me in the car most of the time. So even when they are not there, I consciously do not react when I'm driving. Because if I react when they are not there, when they are there, I won't know and I will react. So because of that, because I do not ever want to set that wrong example, I don't do it. Same thing with traffic light. I would not beat it because I am with children. To a huge extent, I will not beat it because I am with children. So it needs to be like that with every other thing. All right. You need to be conscious. If you have children and nothing has changed in your life, if you have children and you're still living the same way you lived before you have children, you are not ready for this assignment. Just know that you're not living this assignment. See, it is such that parenting is such that when children come into your life, there are certain things that you drop immediately. See, as I grew in my consciousness of my role as a parent, if I tell you the number of things in my life that I have dropped, like literally dropped, things that I did as a young, wife or a young girl, and all of that. A lot of the things I did, I have literally dropped them, dumped them, because I know who I am. I am a mentor, and whatever it is that I give permission to will be what it is that my children are going to just leave it alone. Whatever it is that I give permission to is what they would live in their life. So it's not by doing one thing and saying another thing. If you're one of those parents that when your children ask you questions, you say, Mommy can do it, but you cannot, you're wrong. You're wrong, because they see you more than they hear you. So if there's anything you don't want them to do, then don't do it. If there's anything you don't want them to do, you don't want to see in their own lives, right? Then don't do it. See, let me tell you, parenting is so reflective that it's a matter of time. You see that thing that you're doing at 40, 45, and 50 that you think your children do not see. That thing that you do that you think your children do not do. It will do not see. It will amaze you. Your son will replicate you. So you're that father. Yeah, especially, if you are, for a mother, your daughter will replicate you so much. And you know something, your daughter will replicate you. And for a father, your daughter will accept that a man treats her the way you treated her mom, or the way that you treat her. So that's why we say to fathers, why are you hitting your daughter? You are just giving her permission to accept that a man somewhere hits her, because that's it. You have given permission and you have told her. That is how people respond to people who make mistakes. When you make a mistake, it is okay that a man hits you, that a man slaps you. So down the line, she will make simple, silly mistakes, and some random man out there, because he has said he loves her, will beat your daughter to a pulp, and your daughter will go treat herself and come back and sit down there because he saw you hit his mother, or you hit her so many times, and so she knows that is the consequence of acting wrongly and all of that. So we need to be careful the things that we give permission to. It's the same thing with our son. You are that father. You are never caught at home. You are constantly out there, constantly out there. So it's not far-fetched that your son gets to a point and he never sees any reason why he should be home. It feels like it's not a male thing. It's women who sit at home with children. Men don't sit at home with children. Men hang out with the boys. And so before you know it, this is it. This is what you will replicate. Now, it is okay that you're doing this probably because nobody showed you any differently, and you have not reached that point in your journey where you have learned and you are unlearning. But you know, this child, God is going to ask you questions about this child, because this one is your first ministry. This is the one that you are co-creating with God. This is the one whose life you are structuring. Basically, you are practically taking the pieces of this child's life and you are putting it together and structuring it by the example that you leave out for the child to see. This one is the one that God will judge you about. So we need to do differently, dear parents. All right. So the next mentors in your children's life are their siblings. You want to leverage the fact that older siblings can actually mentor to their younger siblings. Now, this one happens whether you like it or not, because children will learn more easily from people who are closer to their age. Remember, I said children learn when it is authentic, when they can practically touch it, when it is relatable. So most often, what their older sibling, who is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, does will likely be more relatable. Okay, they will likely relate to it better than they relate to what it is that you, an adult, does, because chances are they are speaking the same language. They watch the same kind of things. They see the same kind of things. They probably go to about the same kind of school, or the same school, as a matter of fact. So their conversations are more in sync, all right, than yours. What what excites them, right? What it is that excites them is more, I mean, it's closer than it is, with you and all of that. So they will learn from their siblings first. They will learn from the people in your home, right? The cousins who come and stay around, the nieces and the nephews, and even the domestic staff who stays around that is younger, all right? The one that can watch, what do you call it? Can watch one of those their programs and laugh at the same level, because I mean, as a matter, I mean, most often you're too busy, isn't it? Many times you are very, very busy, and so it is the nanny that the child is with. So the child is going to, connect with the nanny who laughs at the foolishness that goes on in a show, or something like that, and all of that. So these are the things. So you want to make sure that these people understand that they are also mentoring the child. You want to make sure that these people understand the role that they are playing in the child's life, directly or indirectly, so that at all times they are also conscious of what it is that they are doing around your children. So yes, their older siblings can be mentors to them. The next group of mentors are their teachers. Do you know your child's teachers are mentors? So this is why the relationship between you and your child's teacher is very key. I say this as a teacher also. I know how many of the children that I worked with that, our relationship went, I mean, this is classroom where you come in the morning and you go at 2 or 3. Yet I know how many children I know that I left an indelible mark on, right, by the time that they were leaving my classroom. It is in the way that the teacher connects. So you don't know who that teacher is. You don't know the ideologies that that teacher has. You do not know the convictions and all of that. Now, if you do not know this teacher, you are not paying attention to this teacher. A teacher by themselves can actually change a whole narrative for your child, because the teachers got your child's ears and your child's heart most likely for an entire year. That is enough time to pass a conviction to another person. So you want to pay attention to who their teachers are, and you want to foster some sort of a relationship. I'm not saying go and become buddies with their teachers, but at least foster a cordial relationship where their teachers are one phone call away, or that you sound them, every now and then. You kind of, touch base with them and see the kind of person that is talking to your child every day. They are speaking to your children as much as you are, if not more. Now, let me tell you this thing. So for an average working parent, right, these are the things that we take for granted. We don't pay attention to them. Do you know that it's possible that for 1 year, your child's teacher had more influence or spoke or was with your child more than you were? So now this is you, a parent who comes, you wake up in the morning, your child is still sleeping, you get ready and blah, blah, and whatever. You are off. Your child is off to school probably at 7, the school bus or something, and then you are off to work. So the child is either gone first or you are gone first, and all of that. Now, the only interaction that probably happens between you and that child is probably for 5, 10, 15, or 20 minutes. If you check, it's probably 4, 5 exchanges between you in the morning, pending on your dynamics and the kind of parent that you are. So probably a hug is not even exchanged, depending on the kind of parents that you are. So it could be good morning, mommy, good morning, dada, and the son passes or the daughter passes and you pass. And then they're having their batch, you're doing your own deal. And then the other thing is, are you ready? What is wrong with you? Is a lot of words flying, anger, and everything flying. Before you know it, they're leaving. And when everyone is leaving, because there's been a lot of banters and all of that, we don't even live in a way that we look at each other, give ourselves a second glance, or give ourselves a good hug. Many times they even go to school without giving you that hug, isn't it? And that's it. The child comes back, you are at work. And what happens? You come back from work probably at 7 o'clock, I don't know, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever. If you live in cities like Lagos, the traffic will show you shaggy. You probably get home at 8 and at 9. When you get home, the child is sleeping, or the child is about to go sleep, or something like that. Lydia, how are the children? They are fine. What happened in school? It's not you. It's Lydia that the child spoke to, or the child didn't speak to anyone. And that's it. This is the rat race for the whole term. Like, it goes like this for the whole time. So without knowing it, you probably have just 10 or so exchanges with your child or less every day. Now, the weekend that you have all the time, that is the Saturday that you move from one party to the next birthday to the next wedding, or you're traveling, you're going on a trip, blah, blah, blah. And then Sunday comes, of course, you drive in the same car, of course, with you scolding all the time on your way to church or something like that. Or you are too engrossed, serious daddy. Daddy doesn't play with children, and all of that. And then that's it. You drive all the way to church. You are at one end in church. The child is at another end in church. Basically, you finish, you get into the car, no exchange. How was church? What happened? What did you understand? What did you learn? No sharing of perspective, no sharing of convictions, nothing. And then it's Monday again, the rat race continues. So this is it. You do this for the weekends, you do this weekdays, and all of that. No tangible time spent with your children. Let me shock you. Then the holiday comes. You are busy during the holiday. You are working anyway. Don't they want you to work? Shouldn't you make money? How would they go to school? How would you pay school fees? There's always a reason. Genuinely so, right? And that's it. And this is it. The holiday comes and the children are around. You've taken them to one summer school, or one lesson teacher will come. When they are not watching TV or playing game, lesson teacher will spend time, with them. And then after that, they leave. Then they play their games. You call me, welcome mommy, or welcome daddy. How are you? How was your day? And that is it. That's the whole exchange. And then back you are. So without knowing it, you are practically a stranger, or you are strangers to each other, because all of your conversations are superficial. They are just on top. They are not even deep. They've got no depth. And this is it. For years, you go like this without really getting to sit. Now, for a whole year, the teacher is in class. He knows when your child has done math. When he doesn't understand the math, goes, stands next to the child, has an exchange with the child, just with them during the lunchtime, if they are like me. Lunchtime is for gisting. We're eating and we're gisting, and all of that. Your child is with this person. This person has got the child's ears and the child's heart consistently for a whole year. Come on now. So these are the issues, really. So yes, you can leverage the relationship that your teachers have to get those teachers to be mentors to them. All right. The last group are true mentors, right? True mentors, people who hold your children accountable. Mentors who are not just about your children's education, who are not just about your children having good results, who are not just about people seeing that you are a good parent. Mentors who truly and sincerely want to do more with your child, wants to stretch your child, once your child understands, because of higher knowledge and because of what their job is, all right? One, understand that your child has got potential, and it's primary to the mentor that your child is able to reach their full potential, like what we do in the mastermind circle. So basically, this is our job. Our job is to help your children reach their full potential. Our job is to help your children become the best version of themselves. This is what we do. This is what we study every day. This is what the path, this is our calling. This is what it is this is the vision that God has placed in our hands, basically. So we practically live to see children reach their full potential. We practically live to help children discover that vision. I wrote in my first book, Bedtime Stories for Champions, that what every child needs is one parent or a significant adult who can see the vision that the child cannot yet visualize, who can see a dream that the child cannot yet dream, and is ready to support the child to reach that dream. This is who a mentor is. So a mentor will sit down there, stretch your child in a way that you probably will not dare to stretch them, because for you, all the lines are blurry. The lines of your expectations, the lines of what people will say, the lines of, would they think I'm a bad parent? The lines of, I have spent so much money and this is what you do to thank me. There's all of these blurry lines, the lines of emotions, all right? The lines of emotions, right? He has worked hard now. Let me just give him the phone. He has done well. I saw on social media the other day that a parent actually got their daughter, who has just finished secondary school, I don't know, 16, 17, a car, like a really, really posh car. What is going on with this electricity today? like a really posh car, and all of that. Sorry, I may have to take my visual off the screen. You can still hear me, right? All right. So like a really posh car, and and the parent was justifying his, as, oh, she's worked really hard, she's passed her exams, and so yeah, we got her this car worth millions of naira and all of that. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's okay, but that's what we're talking about. So as a parent, the lines will get really blurry. You could just simply say, oh, he's worked so hard. Let me just give him something that is worth a billion naira or dollar because I can afford it and all of that. But a mentor will probably not think that is necessary, because the mentor understands principles deeper, and he knows that your child's value or your child's celebration doesn't necessarily, or the child's sense of worth or your child's sense of who they are is not in the material things that you adorn them with or that you splurge around them. The mentor understands that the biggest legacy that you can pass down to your child is your convictions first before the material things. All right. So the mentor is able to point the child to see the things that are truly important. He's able to help the child form a narrative or a mindset that is empowering. And then by the time you add whatever values you have to that, you become a formidable team. So their mentors are your partners, they are your collaborators. And it's very key that every child is blessed with this opportunity, that every parent understands that this is a rare privilege that you can give to your child by pointing them to mentors, true mentors who can walk the journey with you and them and create or form that tripod relationship. Our son had his first mentor when he was 7 years old. It took that mentorship system between our son and his mentor, who lived in Jos at the time, and I live in Abuja, and they were using my BlackBerry phone. I remember back then, it was my BlackBerry phone that they would use to have their sessions. It was through that mentorship program that our son started his YouTube channel. Okay, I knew we had started asking him questions. What are the things that you can do to impact life, to touch, other people, to impact? We had on our own, we had some sense of, where we were taking him to. But mentors come and they give life and light, to these things even bigger, right? So he had started, so we're like, okay, teach your friends. And he had started gathering his friends to teach them science. During exams, he will put together, they will sit down and they will revise together and all of that. It was his mentor that said, something, you can reach a larger audience and bless more children if you start a YouTube channel where you teach a science topic every 2 weeks. And that's what our son did. He started teaching science on YouTube right from when he was 8. When he was 8, he had his introductory, whatever video in that group. And he taught science for 2 consecutive years, right? We would actually create the models, nothing. Not one day did he look at likes. He didn't even understand what it meant for him to have a like. If you go to that channel, you will not even see up to 500 people. The likes was the least of our problems. The least of our problems. We had people who reached out over and over again. Do you want to buy audience? We'll give you a channel, 2,000, 1,000 people. We kept on telling them that's not the goal. The goal here is to show up. The goal is to build skills. The goal is to impact. This is the goal. And so we do it and we share it on all social media platforms. Those who think their children should learn from another child will click and they will learn. And he taught those lessons in such a beautiful way that any child will understand. You can still check the channel out. It's still there. Come see My Science, My World. Just click in there and you'll see science topics. You will see he's almost 15 years old. When you go there, you see him with his thin voice. And that's a positive digital footprint that we have created for him. That channel will be there for the rest of his life. His children will see what he was doing at 8. And so it's easy for his children to believe when he says to them, this is the way. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So I'm going to leave it off there. But then that happened because there was a mentor that could see the bigger picture, that even I could see at the time, or that his father could see at the time. This is what mentors do. They come and they partner or collaborate with you to expand and broaden the minds of your children. And so we all need mentors in the lives of our children. We need you as their mentor. They need their older siblings. They need their teachers. They need, very, very importantly, the mentors who cover all the areas, right, in their lives. So if you have a child that is between five, as a matter of fact, if the child is 5 years and 8 months, they can join the mastermind circle. We take children between age 5 and 8 months and age 14. When the child turns 14, we graduate them and we send them into other bigger programs, teenage programs, where they will go and have other mentors who are ready to shake them and stretch them and make them begin to do bigger things, basically. But by the time we graduate them from the mastermind, your child will already be self-aware, your child will be self-motivated, your child will be able to take initiative, and your child will be productive and resourceful. This is what we do at the Mastermind Circle. If you want your child to be a part of the Mastermind Circle, at the end of this, just check in the description on YouTube or in the comment section on Facebook, and you can see the information that you need for your child to join us and be a part of the Mastermind Circle. Apart from that, you can start from somewhere. We have a book challenge that is going on from next tomorrow, from the 1st of August. It's just 3,500 naira, and we will be working with your children for a whole 30 days to help them cultivate the habit of reading, because we know that every successful person must be someone who loves to learn. And the best way to cultivate the love for learning is to cultivate the love for reading. When children read, they open up their minds, they open up their imagination, they broaden their creativity. And with that, every other skill is easily assessed, because what it takes is that to learn a skill, in most cases, is that you know how to process information. When you process information, then you get to doing it. So reading is the requisite skill. All right, reading is the requisite skill for all other skills. Thank you for joining me today. I'm sorry my light situation has been up, down, all down. I don't know what the problem is. I think we have a bit of a challenge. All right, but we are out of here right now. Thank you for joining us in today's episode. We'll see you tomorrow, where we will be looking at another group of people that should be mentoring your children, or another group of people that can form your support system. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Bye.